The DUI court program was started in 2005 by Judge C.J. Gober. Judge Gober was a big proponent of the program. I have to admit that I wasn't really sold on it. I thought it might be a waste of resources. I had heard stories and read articles about the effectiveness of these programs, but just felt like maybe we were spending too much money to attack a problem that didn't need it. But he really proved me wrong. He got involved in this program and dedicated a lot of time, effort, and energy into it, and showed everybody in this community that these programs are very effective and are very beneficial. And it's all because of the people who work in the program, the counselors, the case managers, probation officers, prosecutors, defense attorneys. It's a team effort.
When you enter into DUI court, it's not just something that you're getting punished for. It's actually a blessing behind it, because you can stay sober and you can work hard and really focus on your counseling.
Statistics show that of everyone who gets a DUI, 65% will learn from their mistakes and get on with their lives. But 35% will come back, and they'll keep coming back. And it doesn't matter what you do. You can put them in jail, put them in prison, send them off to rehab, and nothing works. They're the ones that'll get the second, the third, the fifth, the 17th DUI. I've had one of those before. And you try everything, and nothing seems to work. But this program really makes a change.
Originally, everybody did the same treatment. Now we have tiers of treatment: low risk and high risk and ultra high risk.
Being a mother was my most important thing in my life, and here I was. I lost that, and so I didn't know who I was or what I was going to do. But God had a plan, and I entered into the program. And counseling with Grace was, just phenomenal for me.
I'm 58 years old, and I've been drinking since I was 15 years old. And my life at the point in time when I got my DUI, I was doing quite well, actually. My last DUI was over 20 years ago. I had met a woman, ended up falling in love with her, and she's my wife today. That was a big change in my life personally.
One thing that I'm very proud of is that all of our therapists are licensed. And I feel like that makes a higher quality of care. We think outside the box.
At the time, it's just hard, but it's definitely worth it. And, I've been sober since, and I'm actually running a home for women that struggle with addiction. So, what is meant for harm can turn into good, and you can change your life. And with this program, it's definitely doable. So
one day I made a fatal mistake and drank and drove, and I was arrested for DUI. That was one of the worst days of my life, because I'd let myself down and let my wife down. It was also one of the best days of my life, because shortly after that I was involved with the DUI court. And so I look back at it, it was a wonderful thing that happened, not a bad thing.
5 phases in all, and this covers about 14 to 24 months of really intensive outpatient program is what they're getting.
15 years of addiction with alcoholism, it definitely affected my health. I think my liver, I went to the doctor, and I had ICP, which is a liver condition, and since then and lupus. I was actually diagnosed with lupus, and I know the alcohol affected that. And since completing this program and to today, I actually lupus, it's uncurable, but I do not have lupus anymore. My liver is fine. I exercise daily, and it's just, my health is incredible. So
not being able to drink and getting alcohol out of my life for a period of at least 14 months and then some, life-changing in my opinion. The other probation situations that I was in never came close to that. I didn't think that was even possible.
One of the things that I've learned with alcoholics and drug addicts over the years is that we have to stop them. They cannot stop using themselves, and we have to stop them. And that's what an accountability court program does. We sort of capture them and hold them very tight at first with lots of restrictions. And then as the person goes along in the program and gains more and more sobriety, then those restrictions loosen a little bit.
Prison always scared me. I knew I was on my way to prison, and I definitely didn't want that to be in my cards. So this probation and, being a DUI court and how strict it is was so good for me because I needed the accountability. And, and you're not drug testing when you're on regular probation and other places. It's just you come in, you can drink, and 3 days before that, you just sober up for a moment until you go to your probation. And so that's what needs to change, I believe. It's just really holding people accountable.
Yeah, it's just a random test. You don't know from one day to the other. Just that you have the opportunity, or you might be called in to test each day. So therefore, drinking alcohol or doing drugs, if you mess up, you're got a good chance you're going to get caught.
With DUI court, you are held accountable. You have to call in daily to see if you have to test and drug test. And that, for me, the accountability of that alone was just, the fear of not passing it was enough to keep me sober for the 24 months. And I know just getting that good, that 2 years under my belt with sobriety was incredibly life-changing for myself.
And I think that getting up in the mornings and having a positive mental attitude, no alcohol involved, that's no longer an issue, is exponential. I mean, it's just fantastic. So you can take care of things a lot better. I was telling my friend today, when problems arise, they're not nearly as hard to tackle. You're not worried about the alcohol.
It's a multidisciplinary approach with counseling and court and jail and administrators and probation, all coming together to work on people.
Blood pressure's gone down, the business has gone up, no stress, become very active in helping others.
While I was in the program, I met my husband, and being sober, it just connected me with somebody that I never thought I would be able to date in my addiction.
The first time I went into court and saw what was going on, Judge Jordan was doing one-line singers like Jeff Foxworthy, Angela's handing out candy, it's cheerleading, applause. I felt like somebody put their arm around me and said, "We're here for you." And so I realized that this is not punishment. This is a gift.
My life has been wonderful. I actually have my daughter back, and I have a 1-year-old and have another baby on the way. And my business is just expanding. My clientele is building up.
Interactions with other folks, I felt like I'm a team member, and I've turned into that cheerleader. So my goal with them is basically tell them, "You're doing great. I'm proud of you."
We have an incredibly low recidivism rate, somewhere in the neighborhood of 8%, which is crazy good. I think it has to do with the professionalism of this team.
I have a relationship with my entire family now that I never could have had I not gone through the program of DUI court.
If it's a higher being, a spouse, a child, somebody that you love more than yourself, and you get booze out of the way to help you with those relationships, it's going to be good. It's going to be really good. So you don't need to be out, driving under the influence or under drugs and hurting yourself, hurting your family members, hurting other people. That's the worst case scenario. We are very lucky to be in this program, extremely lucky, because there's a lot of people with orange jumpsuits that are going to be sitting behind jail because they killed somebody. That's what we're after here. We're trying to keep that. We're trying to keep people from going there. And I'm a firm believer in this program, firm believer.